Have you ever wondered when the Chanel collections are released throughout the year? And what those acronyms like 20A, 20C, 20B really mean? If so, stay tuned. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the Chanel release schedule in this video and how to decipher those really interesting acronyms. So when I first jumped into Chanel a couple of years ago, I had no idea of the release schedule, how many collections Chanel released throughout the calendar year, the timing, how to decipher all of these acronyms that I was seeing. And I simply thought, okay, I want a blue classic flap. I'll find a photo off the internet, take it to the boutique and show my essay and purchase that, right? Well, not exactly. It's not that easy. And so I really wish I knew this information really early on in my Chanel journey. So I hope this is helpful to tell you how to get the pieces that you want and how to time your purchases. Before we get into it, if you're new here, my name is Tarina. And if you're already a returning subscriber, thank you so much for returning, and I appreciate you so much. I post videos every Monday and Thursday, so if you like luxury unboxings, reviews, travel, lifestyle, and some giveaways thrown in there, come join our LuxHandbagLover family by hitting that subscribe button and hit that like button down below. Also, if you like luxury content, don't forget to hit that bell icon to turn on all notifications so that you can be the first to see my new content. Also, I am here and I post on Instagram pretty regularly, so come find me. I'd love to be friends and see what you're up to as well. Okay, so let's jump into the Chanel collection schedule. All you need to remember is this acronym: CPS ABK. Pretty easy, right? Let me explain. So, Chanel has and releases a total of 6 collections throughout the calendar year. So, the calendar year meaning 2020, that's what their schedule and their cadence looks like. So I wanted to, again, I felt that this was beneficial to just share a little bit more about their scheduling and the upcoming collections for the remainder of 2020 and looking into early of 2021. So I have my phone here just to make sure that I provide all of the right helpful information. And so, as I mentioned, Chanel releases a total of 6 collections each year. And the acronym that I shared earlier, so again, it's CPS ABK. So these are the letters, and again, an acronym that could be helpful as you start your Chanel journey or start to look down the road on their schedules and releases to plan your purchases. So what does this acronym stand for? So C stands for cruise. So Chanel releases a cruise collection. You know, by the name of it, typically the cruise collection is very resort wear, thinking of, you know, taking a vacation on a cruise. What kind of, type of wear would you use there? So it's very typically resort, you know, getting into that spring, summer. So C stands for cruise, which is one of their collections, the first collection. The next letter is P. So P stands for printemps. And printemps is what you'll see referred to as Spring Act 1. So for the spring collection and the fall winter collections, Chanel breaks those up into Act 1 and Act 2. So again, the second acronym is P, printemps, stands for Spring Act 1. The next letter is S. So that's what you'll typically see for spring, summer, and that is Spring Act 2. So the second act of spring, summer. The next acronym and letter that you will see for Chanel is A. So A stands for autumn, as well as pre-fall. So I'll get more into these a little bit more, but again, you can see this referred to as the pre-fall collection. The next letter in that acronym is B, and the B collections are the Fall Winter Act 1 collections. So again, spring, summer, and fall, winter are broken out into 2 acts. So B is Act 1 for fall, winter. And the last letter in that acronym is K, and the K collections are Fall Winter Act 2. So again, the acronym is C for cruise, P for printemps or Spring Act 1, S for summer or Spring Summer Act 2, A for autumn or pre-fall, B is Fall Winter Act 1, and the K collection is Fall Winter Act 2. So again, I know this may be confusing at first, so I hope that I can explain it and that this will help. Also, if you have any follow-up questions after this video, please let me know in the comment section down below. Again, I just want to be a resource and share because this is helpful and something just I learned over time, and I felt, you know, if there was a video or a resource, it would have been helpful. So I'm also happy to answer any follow-up questions that you have, so just let me know. Okay, so that's the acronym CPSABK. So, you know, when purchasing Chanel items, either from the boutique or pre-loved items like from Fashion File, Yogi's Closet, or secondhand pre-loved websites or boutiques, there are ways that you can determine when that bag was released. So which collection, which year. So the first way is either from the tag. So if you buy it brand new from the boutique, you know, there will be kind of a sales tag or a tag that comes along with your purchase, and it will have a corresponding number followed by one of the letters that I shared in that acronym. So, you know, for example, 20A. And I'll get more into what that means. The second way that you can decipher when an item was released or what collection it came from. Let's say you go to Fashion File, it doesn't come with the original tag, so how can you figure out what collection it was from? So the second way is deciphering the item number on the corresponding authenticity card. So if you're new to Chanel or you know, kind of jumping into Chanel, every Chanel handbag, even small leather goods, so wallets, card holders, do come with their own authenticity card. So it's a black card, and every item has a corresponding card, and the number on the item and the card correspond and match. I'll do a separate video on Chanel authenticity cards because I could go talking about that. So today we'll just focus on the schedule itself, deciphering the acronyms on certain tags. But I just wanted to bring that up, that authenticity cards are also a good resource, and we can dig into another video on that. So, for example, when looking at a tag, so if you buy a brand new bag or a wallet, you'll normally see a number followed by a letter. And the letter will always be one of those letters from that original acronym, CPSABK. So it'll always be a number followed by one of those letters. So for example, and again, I'll dig in a little bit more here shortly on the timing, but the most recent collection that, you know, was released, or the last two were, you know, 20A, so the Metida, the one that, you know, a lot of people purchase. I purchased my gold belt from, that rainbow reissue bag that's really popular. That was from the Metida, also known as 20A. So 20 corresponds to the year, 2020. So if you see a tag that says 20, it's from this year. And you could see 20A, 20 C, you know, that would have been from the 20 Cruise collection. And so, you know, that's a way that you can start to decipher what that means. So again, the number followed by the year. So that's how you can figure out when the item released and which collection, which I think is super fun. Okay, so let's dig in a little bit more into each of these collections, kind of when the timing of them are released, and what's upcoming. So I will start with spring summer. So I'll start with the S. So spring summer, so again, the S in that acronym is Spring Summer Act 2. So for example, the runway show for the 20S, so the 2020 Spring Summer Act 2 show, that was originally released, and Chanel debuted that collection on the runway back in October 2019. So the runway show was in October of 2019. Typically the S collections, so Spring Act 2, usually deliver between the March and June timeframes throughout the years. And for 2020, the 20S collection was released in March. So again, fits within that March-June timeframe. So again, for S of 20S, the runway show was in October 2019. It usually delivers, or is, you know, those items start to be sold in the boutiques between the March-June timeframe, and that was in line for 2020. 20S was released in March of 2020. So that's the S. Moving on to A. So the 20A collection, which again, most people, it stands for the autumn or pre-fall is the term that you'll hear. 20A was the Metida with the rainbow reissue, you know, a lot of those popular metallic reissues that were released. So timing wise, originally the 20A collection, that runway show was first debuted by Chanel back in December of 2019. So that's when the show first came out. We got to watch it and get a sneak peek of what was upcoming. So December 2019. The A collections typically are released in the boutiques between that May-September timeframe. So for 2020, the 20A collection released in June of 2020, which again fits within that time frame of window. And also something to keep in mind, which I will get into a little bit more at the end, is that, you know, based on the collection, some popular items from Chanel alternate. So, you know, I'll get into that towards the end. Okay, so that's A. The B collection, so 20B, so 2020B which is the Fall Winter Act 1 collection. That's the current collection. So, and some of these collections, do overlap. So right now, there are still some overlap items from 20S, which again, released in March. They are kind of scarce now because they've been out for a number of years. 20A, there are still, again, some items if you can find stock. But 20B, Fall Act 1, that was the most recent release collection from Chanel. That runway show originally was released, and we saw those looks in March of 2020, so early this year. The B collections are typically delivered between the June-October timeframe, and that held true this year. It was released in about July-August timeframe for 20B. For the K collection, so again, Fall Winter Act 2, the runway show was released again in March of 2020. Usually delivers between the August-November timeframe. And this is the next upcoming collection. So that's why I wanted to kind of switch around, and K and C are the next upcoming ones, and kind of wanted to talk about what to keep an eye out for. So the 20K Fall Winter Act 2 is scheduled to release in boutiques in September, so this month. And I've talked to my SA, it sounds like mid-September, so pretty shortly here in a week, week and a half or so, that's when 20K will be released. So really excited. And then the last collection that is upcoming from where we are today, again, today is September, the September timeframe of 2020, is 21C. So we saw initially the 21C cruise collection. Typically it's a runway show, but we had to see a virtual showing because of the pandemic situation. So Chanel released a virtual showing of 21C in June of 2020. So that's where we saw some of the looks. It usually delivers between the November and January timeframe. And what I'm hearing and talks right now are that 21C will be released in November of 2020. So really excited for 21C. And then the last collection that is upcoming that I have some information on for the timing is 21P. So 21P, again, Printemps, which is Spring Act 1 for 2021. The runway virtual show is upcoming, I believe. It usually delivers in the Jan to March timeframe. And what I'm hearing in terms of timeframe for 21P is that it's estimated to hit boutiques in January of 2021. So that's when you'll see 21P. So again, looking forward from where we are today, the current collection, the newest current collection that was released is 20B. So Fall Winter Act 1. Fall Winter Act 2, so 20K, is going to be released in September. So mid-September, about a week, week and a half, you're going to start to see 20K items. 21C is going to be delivered around the November 2020 timeframe. And then the 21P Printemps Spring Act 1 is estimated for January of 2021. So I hope that makes sense. I'll try to add some notes here so that it makes sense. But I just wanted to provide the time frame. So as you can see, from the time that Chanel releases a runway show, it's months in advance from when, we actually get to see the items and the lookbooks of what's going to be released, and then even further down the road of when we can purchase the items in boutique. So there's a long leeway of time. So I just wanted to share that. That's not something that I ever knew. And the collections always change, right? You can't typically just go into a boutique and say, hey, I want a true red classic flap with gold hardware. It doesn't work that way. Each collection, they come out with different colors and different shades. And typically it's for a limited time. Once those items are gone, they don't hold them throughout the year, like the blacks, like the classic colors. If you see a certain shade that you like, it is typically for a certain collection period of time, so it is limited. And then, if down the road you want it, you're gonna have to go the pre-loved route. So again, that's just something that I didn't know. I thought you could just find a photo off the internet, go to Chanel and buy it, but it really sticks within these collections. The last thing, final notes that I want to share about the Chanel collections are a few items alternate. And so again, you won't be able to find them for every collection. So for example, mini classic flaps and mini reissues actually alternate seasons. So to put it in context right now, the 20A or Metida collection, had the rainbow reissues. So for 20A, they had mini reissues and they did not have mini flaps, classic flaps. For 20B, that has swapped. So there are no mini reissues, there are mini classic flaps, and so on and so forth. So again, if you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to decipher or help you plan if you're looking for a certain item. So again, mini classic flaps and mini reissues alternate and are available. So it's either mini classic flaps or mini reissues. And also the same for trendy CCs and Coco handles. So for 20A, they had trendy CCs. Or I'm sorry, for 20A, they had Coco handles. For the current collection, 20B, they do not have Coco handles. They just have trendy CCs. But for the next upcoming collection, 21C Cruise in November, they will swap back to Coco handles and mini reissues. So that is the Chanel collection schedule and when you can expect to see these released throughout the year. I thought it was beneficial because I had wished that when I started my Chanel journey, I knew when, I saw something on the runway, when it would be released in the boutique and trickle down to when I could actually purchase and have it in my hands. Because there is a long leeway of time from when you see it on the runway to when it's in a boutique and available for you to take home. So I hope this helped. If you have any further questions about the schedule or anything else, I'm more than happy to help. Again, I just want to be a resource and provide the new information to all of you, my Lux Handbag Lover family. So just keep me posted in the comment section down below. I also plan to do dedicated videos on the upcoming collections in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, hit that button down below, turn on that bell notification so that you can stay tuned for the next hottest items and pieces. So again, I will do a video dedicated to 20K, the Fall Winter Act 2, which is released in mid-September, so coming up pretty shortly here. I will also do a dedicated video for 21C, 21 Cruise, which is scheduled and estimated to release in November of 2020. And then I will also do another video for 21P or Printemps Spring Act 1, which is also estimated to release in January of 2021. So again, stay tuned and super excited to share a little bit more with all of you. If you like this type of content, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much and have a great day.